YouTube. Good morning, Uma Community Clinic family. Welcome to our Wednesday morning yoga class. Some weeks we do chair yoga, some weeks we do a hybrid of chair and mat. And today we'll be on our mats. Today will be a mat only class. Thank you for coming. Without you, there is no class. So keep returning and invite your friends and family. This class is suitable for most people. My classes are suitable for most people. And please bring family and friends next time. I am here in Los Angeles. I wanted to just give a moment of appreciation to the Tongva and Gabrielino indigenous nations. These are the Indian tribes that were on this land way before the colonizers showed up. So this land belonged to them and they belonged to the land. This was their land. This land was stolen from them by the colonizers and it was renamed Los Angeles. You can do a search of your part of the country or your part of the world to find out who the indigenous people are. And they are, obviously, many of the ancestors are deceased, but their spirit is still with us. And so you can find out whose land you're on and maybe think about, occasionally giving thanks and gratitude to them for caring for your most special part of the earth that you live on. And my playlist just went crazy, so let me stop the party music for just a moment. Anyway, so I wanted to just give you a couple of my usual reminders. If you have any injuries, please take care of your body. And what I mean by that is you can experientially try something out, meaning do it in a very thoughtful way to make sure that you don't have any pain or definitely no re-injury to your body. If you need a break, please take a break on your own. We'll be taking breaks together, but if you need one in between of those times, please feel free to, we call it resourcing, to resource yourself as needed. We'll start with a grounding, and grounding basically means we bring our awareness into the space we're in, and not just the physical space, but the mental space that we are about to go into a yoga practice. So we try to leave all of our distractions outside. They, of course, will be waiting for us when we get done, unfortunately. But it's just a way to just kind of tune out anything that was on our mind. Just, some of it we can't not think about, but we can tune it out for the next little bit under an hour. And so I'm sitting on my stool. I'm going to move back to my yoga mat in just in a couple of minutes, but we just start sitting in a comfortable way and place your hands on your body in a way that feels therapeutic. So you can place your hands palms down on your thighs or on your knees, your choice. You can place your hands around your belly. This is a very good way to self-soothe if you're feeling anxious or unsettled, to hang on to yourself. You can place right hand over heart and left hand over your belly button. This is another nice way to self-soothe. And then noticing your heartbeat underneath your right hand. You might be able to feel your heart pumping away. Or you can have hands in prayer, whichever you prefer, your choice. And just noticing the parts of you that are touching something else. So in my case, again, I'm on a stool. My feet are touching the floor. My feet are flat in all four corners of the feet, which is the big toe side of the ball of the foot, the pinky toe side of the ball of the foot, and both sides of the heels. I feel them making snug contact with the floor. I feel, and notice what you feel, the backs of my thighs and part of my butt on my stool. So I have an awareness of that. And hands, your hand placement, wherever you have a place, just noticing the placement and then noticing the fabric. If your hands are on your clothing, just the fabric, is it thin or thick? Is it rough or smooth? How does it feel to your hand? So the sense of touch we're using here. We look around the space and look around as if it's your first time being in that room, just taking in colors and textures and the different materials that were used to pull your room together, looking at furniture and flooring and curtains and shades and windows and all those things. I have plants. See what you look around and see. I have some junk that's behind the camera that thank God you can't see that. And just have a look at the space that you're in. And then we move to the sense of smell. Happy to report the gardener. Well, he came early today, but he just finished blowing across the street and now he's gone, but I can smell cut grass, the scent of cut grass. So see if you smell anything or hear any sounds inside your space or outside. Outside, otherwise the street is quiet for now. What tastes do you have in your mouth? I have the remnants of toothpaste, minty toothpaste, and I had a little water before we started. Maybe you had coffee or juice or toast or something, fruit, something like that. And now we'll move our awareness to our breath. So we're going to be breathing through our nose throughout our class together. And the breaths are smooth and easy. So we fill the lungs completely with a slow, deep, full inhale, or inhales, plural. And then exhale everything out to make space for the next big inhale. So we want to exchange the flow of breath and flow of oxygen by really being thoughtful about this breath. This style or type of breathing, I don't breathe like this all day, every day. Are periods of time throughout the day where I do stop what I'm doing to take some of these focused breaths, and they do help me to, even if I'm not feeling anxious or excited in a way that's distracting, they just help keep my nervous system calm. And so it's a really useful practice to use your breath in this way. Most human beings don't breathe deeply enough. We have a lot of unused lung space that we don't fill up with the breath. And obviously each breath has oxygen in it, and the body obviously needs oxygen to thrive. I think I read, since we've been together, that the brain, if it doesn't have oxygen within, I'm guessing now, under 10 seconds, there can be damage that happens. Now, not if you're underwater swimming, things like that, but if there's no oxygen in the body going to the brain, that it could be detrimental to the brain. That's the organ that needs oxygen the most. So focusing on the breath, we're sitting up tall. Again, you're noticing the parts of you that are touching other things, the floor, your chair, your hands touching your clothing, or if you have on shorter pants, your hands touching your skin, and just noticing the sensations. So directing our attention onto these sensations helps us to tune out distractions. In yoga, the way that our minds jump from one thing to the next, unless we're sleeping, just all day long chatter is called monkey mind. Just chatter. I need to do this. Oh, wait, I need to call someone. Oh, just all day long. And so keeping our attention focused on our breathing helps us to shut that noise out, which is very helpful to just being more focused and not so all over the place. It's just focusing on the breath. You can do this breath work in any situation you're in. Obviously everyone's breathing that's around you. And no one needs to know that you're breathing, or no one will notice that you're breathing in a different way. But it really does help to stabilize the nervous system. And sometimes that's all we can do when we're in certain environments. We can't take a walk or go outside and get some air. We have to kind of stick with what we're doing. And so the breath, I call it an ever-present tool to resource yourself. And resourcing is just using things, everyday things, or your body to help you to, again, stabilize the nervous system. I preach about the nervous system. That's my whole thing about teaching yoga. it's not for exercise. I'm not here as an exercise teacher. It is to help us to regulate ourselves, especially through the things that we've been through in the last, I'll name it now, 6 years. We've been through a lot of things that were very troubling and traumatizing. And so this breathing and resourcing ourselves, and sometimes the resource can be thinking about someone that brings you joy to your or heart, brings your spirit some comfort. So they don't have to be alive. They could be someone from your past. They could be alive and someone you haven't seen in a long time. But pictures of people. You don't have to have the real person in front of you. The imagination is very strong. Photographs of people that you love. Thinking about your puppy, or me, in my case, my cats. I might not be able to be with them when I'm at work, but when I think about them or look at their photo, it brings me some comfort and joy. Smells of things remind us, and sometimes the smells are triggering, but smells of things can remind us of pleasant times, memories of outings with people that we care about or cared about. Thinking about those times these are ways to resource. Looking at, if you're outside, nature, trees, flowers, grass, helps us to settle the nervous system. We can use those things as a resource too. Using the earth, so sitting on grass, sitting on sand, sitting on cement. Cement is not that comfortable, but just sitting with and bringing your body closer down to Mother Earth can also be considered a resource. So there's resources all around us. We just have to get into the practice of resourcing ourselves by putting these tools into place. You might have things like a thing that maybe your grandmother gave you, like a brooch or whatever it could be, a Bible, whatever thing it is. And for you to either think about that thing, or even if you have access to touch it and hold it, can help you to resource yourselves. When I teach my women that are in a sex traffic, it's called a diversion center, where they've been involved with the court system, and the court says you must go to a diversion program. And a lot of them are under the control of someone else. And so I suggest them, while they're out on the street, walking, to feel the with each footstep. They're doing a lot. They're looking around for trouble, crazy people, and then the person that's whose control they're under, making sure that they're happy. And so I say, I know you can't do a lot while you're out there as far as any distractions, but feel the earth under your foot with each and every footstep. Look at the clouds. If you're outside, just glance up and look at the clouds. And over time, practice using those as resources. So resources are all around us. We just have to get into the habit of using them. I'm going to move back onto my mat. Hola, Maria. Buenos dias. So today, Maria, we will be on piso, on the yoga mat today. Okay. And so thank you for letting me coming to my TED Talk. So we'll start. I'm going to use my blanket for a little cushioning of my sit bones. The bones on the hip bones on the back of us are called sit bones. And I'm going to see myself. I'm going to use the cushion of my blanket for. Oh my goodness, this music. It's crazy. Party music is back, so we're gonna go with no music. I just want to make sure that I'm in camera. All right, so we'll sit on the floor. We're gonna start with cross leg. This is called easy pose or cross leg seated pose. And so our shoulders and hips are in a vertical line. So we want to sit up tall, long spine, long neck. Top of your head is reaching up, okay? Let's just take some breaths here, right where we are. Again, we're breathing through the nose. And the breaths are long, deep, and full breaths. Long, deep, and full breaths. And that's all we're gonna do for now. We're just gonna take some breaths. We're gonna feel, sorry, a couple more things. Feel the floor on the outsides of your feet. Feel the cross of your legs. So I can feel my right leg is touching my left ankle. So noticing that, feeling my blanket under my butt. And I'm gonna put my hands down in just a minute as soon as I fiddle with this music. Let's play this. Okay. So drop your chin to chest and just hold here. So looking down toward the floor, shoulders are down again, as I mentioned, and the shoulders and the hips are in one line. So looking down, we're gonna just get a little stretch on the back of our neck. Holding the posture. So again, sitting up tall, pull in your belly button to support you a little more. That engages the muscles around the abdominal area. So belly button pulls in a little bit. And taking some breaths, and again, relax the shoulders down and just sit tall and hold here. Chin is near the chest, and just hold. May feel a little stretch happening on the back of your neck and the tops of your shoulders. You may feel a little something there. We'll slowly circle our head. So either way to start, slow circles. And you may hear some noise coming from your neck. It's okay as long as there's no pain accompanying the noise. So what I mean by noise is cracks and pops and snaps, things like that. They are hydrogen gas bubbles releasing or letting go from the movement. Let's go the other way. So these are really lovely if you're in the car, passenger or driver. If you're driving, of course, red light only. Or if you're waiting for something in the parking lot or standing or sitting somewhere waiting for an appointment to happen, you can do these neck rolls. And these are really good for obviously breaking up some of the tension that's in the neck. This neck part of our spine is called the cervical spine. That's the top part of the entire spine, the cervical spine. There's 12 sets of bones from the base of your skull down, which is considered the neck. Turn your head to the right and just hold it there. If you want to add 3 fingers from the left hand to the left jaw line, you may do that. And just gentle pressure, pushing the head gently toward the right. So get a nice stretch on the right, on the left side of the neck. Hold here, continue to breathe. Good morning, welcome. Smooth breath. Release the left hand down onto the left thigh. Look down toward the floor on your right side. Hold here. Take some breaths, looking downward. You can close your eyes if you're comfortable with that, but looking downward. And then come back to center. Turn your head to the left. You want to add 3 fingers from the right hand to the right side of your jawbone or jawline. You can do that. Gentle pressure toward the left and hold here. Make sure your shoulders stay relaxed and down. We don't want them up. We don't need them up. They're not helping when they're up, so keep them low. And sitting up tall, checking in on your breathing, tending to your breath. So the breath again is smooth and easy, big breaths in. Fill your lungs completely and then exhale all the breath out, preparing for the next inhale. Release your right hand down, look down toward the left side of you, toward the floor. And breathing through the nose. Inhale back to center, head back to the right side, looking up and down a few times. And then head to the left, looking up and down a few times. And then come back to center, right ear, right shoulder, hold here. If you want to bring the right hand over to the right ear, to the left ear, you can do that. So the hand by the ear just adds a little weight to the stretch. So bringing our right hand over to the left ear, the weight of the right arm enhances the stretch gently, just a little bit. Hold it in. And then release the right hand down, left ear, left shoulder. You can bring the left hand over toward the right side of your head and hold. So again, allowing the weight of the left arm to add a little bit of stretch, and that will increase the stretch on the right side of your neck and the top of your right shoulder. Just hold here. Again, your eyes can be opened, closed, or open halfway. For your comfort, you get to decide which way you want your eyes to be. For many of us, closed eyes is triggering. We want to see what's going on around us, even in our homes. But also for others, the closing of the eyes is more, it puts us in a little bit of a more meditative state when we're practicing yoga. Obviously shuts out all the external stimuli like the light and the distractions, like looking at all the things in my room that are behind my camera. They are distractions, so I would consider closing my eyes. And then release the left hand down and right ear, right shoulder. Exhale here, and then inhale to center. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Inhale to center. Exhale, right ear, right shoulder. Inhale to center. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Inhale to center. So we're getting a good exchange of breath here. Right ear, right shoulder, exhale. Inhale to center. Left ear, left shoulder, exhale. Inhale to center. Exhale, right ear, right shoulder. Inhale to center. This is the last one. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. And then inhale to center. Return to your regular cycles of breathing. Just hold it and see. I feel a little, I don't even know the word. I say this every week. Buzzed a little. I know that has a different connotation in some circles. I don't mean stoned. I mean like brighter, a little bit more aware of my surroundings because my brain is full of oxygen just from that little practice. Maybe more alert, possibly more relaxed. But I feel different from breathing that focused breath that we just did. Let's sit wide-legged. So legs are out as wide as you can get them. We don't want to cause pain on the inner thigh. You don't have to, we're not doing a split, but just bring your legs as wide as is comfortable for you. Now the wider the better, because you do get a stretch on that inner hamstring, which is the muscles on the inside of the thighs. They don't get a lot of attention because of where they are, unless you're a dancer or gymnast or something like that. And so just sitting like this, and I can feel the pull, is a passive way to stretch these inner muscles. Okay, so we're sitting here. If you notice, I think you can see my toes are up. So when we flex our feet, the leg muscles are engaged. So they're getting a toning, which is called a toning, which means the muscles are strengthening a bit because we have our feet positioned a certain way. So toes are up. And just sit up really tall. We'll hold here for a few breaths. Make sure, again, your shoulders are over your hips. Long spine, long neck. Stretch your crown or reach the crown of your head upward so that you're sitting in a perfect vertical line. Spine is stacked on top of itself. And again, shoulders and hips are in a line together. Just take some breaths here. You can rest your hands either on mine or on my shins. You can bend your elbows and put them on your knees or thighs. It's up to you. Just hold here and breathe. We're going to exhale and walk forward. So I haven't done yoga in a few days, so I'm really, well, plus I was on an airplane all day yesterday. I'm really tight. So I'm going to just come out to the first sensation of the inner thighs that I feel. I don't want to force past that. I don't want to injure myself or do too much or overexert the muscles. So I'm going what we call, I think it's called the first edge of, I don't know what it's called, but just lean forward enough to, I have to do a memory scan of what that's officially called, but we're going to the first edge of sensation. We'll just call it that. And so holding here and look down toward the floor. So we want the neck long, even though we're leaning forward, we don't want to kink in the neck. I know you're looking up to see what I'm doing, but once you get orientated to what I'm doing, just look back down toward the floor. Palms are spread wide, fingers spread wide, palms are flat. And you may be flexible enough at this point. If I was a little warmer, I could drop my forearms down, but it's not important. But you may be able to do a little bit of a deeper forward bend by dropping the forearms down on the floor. Not required. We're doing what our bodies, our individual bodies are able to do right now. Okay, so we're not over exerting, forcing, trying to mimic what I'm doing. None of that. We'll do what your body allows you to do. And so we're going to hold here for just a few more breaths. I want to talk to you about what this shape is doing for us. You may feel a little pull on the backs of your legs, like from the heel all the way up to the back of the thigh. You might feel something on the back of your knee, a little stretch. Okay, so that's one benefit of this shape. We're leaning forward, so you're getting a stretch for your low back. That part of the back, that's the lower curve, lumbar area, lumbar spine. It gets impacted by gravity, pulling us down all day, by poor posture, us walking around slumped, sitting slumped, time and time, day in and day out. And also from furniture that does not support us well. So my work seat on the airplane has absolutely zero lumbar support. And I've spent over the years many hours sitting on that. It's called a jump seat. No lumbar support whatsoever. Very uncomfortable. When I'm sitting, I won't speak for the other flight attendants, but so my lumbar region of my spine takes a lot of abuse pretty much. And so this forward leaning, and you can do this if we were sitting in a chair, you could do the same shape by just leaning forward. We're holding this in order to allow the muscles to maybe struggle initially. They might be struggling with the shape and then they let go. And that's where the stretch happens. So we're waiting for that while I yammer. But anyway, so forward, we're doing a wide leg seated forward bend. That is what this is called. And so again, for the backs of the legs, the insides of the thighs, and the low back, that is what this pose is helping. Inhale, both arms up, and then you come up, sit up really tall, and then exhale, bring your hands back down on the mat, look down toward the floor. We'll do 4 more like that. Breathe in, lift. Big breath in, exhale down. This is number 3. Inhale, come up, sit up straight each time, and check to make sure feet are flexed, toes up toward the sky. Exhale, come down. 2 more, breathe in. Inhale, come up, exhale, forward bend. And then 1 more, inhale, come up, exhale, come back down. And we're gonna walk our hands over toward the right leg, 1 hand on either side of the right leg. Okay, you may feel a little pull since we're turning our torso away from the left or from the middle. You may feel a little extra stretch happening on the inside of the left thigh. Hands are on either side of the right leg. Look down toward the right knee and hold here. Feet are flexed. Check on your breathing that it's continuously smooth and easy. And then inhale, both arms up. We are turning toward the left leg. So you might immediately feel something on the inside of the right thigh, and then exhale, come down. One hand on either side of the left leg, look down at the left knee, and we'll hold here for a few breaths. You also might feel a little stretch on the right side of your rib cage when we twist from one side to one side or the other. So on this side, it's happening on the right side of your rib cage. I feel a little extra stretch happening behind my right knee. So see what you notice for yourself. You don't have to feel what I'm feeling. So don't feel like I'm doing it wrong. I don't feel anything. Just we're doing fine. The muscles are stretching even if you don't feel anything. Couple more breaths here. And then inhale, we're going back to the first side. Exhale, turn right. One hand on either side of the right leg. Look down at the right knee. And hold here. Breathing through the nose. And then inhale up, turn to the left, exhale down. One hand on either side of the left leg again. Take some breaths here. So we're nasal breathing, focused breath, big inhales and exhales. Now we're going to walk our hands back to the middle and see if it feels a little more accessible since we've been twisting and leaning forward for the last couple minutes. And then inhale, walk yourself upright, bring your feet together. So this is called butterfly, also called a cobbler pose. In some of the other yoga schools call this, the older yoga schools call this cobbler, like the shoemaker, not the pie, but the shoemaker. So perhaps in India, there was women repairing shoes and they were sitting like this, and that's how that got the name. It's also called butterfly. You can understand why, the shape of our legs. And this is an internal thigh muscle stretch, so an inner hamstring stretch and a hip opener. So when I started yoga in what year was that? 2001, yeah. My knees were way up here. And of course, I noticed that my classmates, some of their knees were not way up here. And we're not supposed to compare ourselves to anyone else in yoga. You do your thing, and that's all that matters. But over time, they've come down. I've learned that every body is different. So depending on your hip anatomy, they might go all the way down to the floor. I've seen people that their outside of their legs are flat on their mat, and that's them. And I don't have to be them. I'm being me. And so this is how mine settle, and however yours settle is how it is. So lift and lower your knees, and we're going to control this. We're not going to drop the legs. We're just going to lift and lower like a butterfly. And then extend the right leg straight out. So again, we're flexing left leg, excuse me. Left leg straight out, left foot is flexed. We're gonna lean forward and look, one hand on either side of the left leg again, look down at the left knee and hold here. So this is again a stretch for the back of the left leg from the buttock all the way down to the heel. And then this bent leg over here, the right one, is getting another hip opener. So holding here, breathing through your nose. Smooth the breath. And we're gonna walk ourselves torso toward the right knee. One hand on either side of the right knee. And just a spinal twist. So you might feel something on the left side rib cage, look down toward the right knee and just hold here. So the left foot is still flexed. And again, the flexing turns on the muscle. It activates the muscle. So flexing the left foot, twisting toward the right knee, one hand on either side near the right knee. Turn your torso to the right. And take some breaths. And then Inhale, come up, left hand, right knee, and we're going to twist again, this time with the torso upright, so the spine is long. Your right hand can either be on the floor behind you, flat palm, or on your fingertips. You get to pick. And so twisting, sitting up tall, checking on your breath, checking on your jaw, checking on your left ankle, left foot flex, turning the body to the right. So this is a seated spinal twist, hip opener, and a stretch for the back of the left leg. Twisting and breathing. And then release, come back to center. Extend the right leg out. Shake out arms and windshield wiper your feet. I'm going to change sides. So the right leg stays extended straight out. Left foot touches inside of the right thigh. We'll start first with an exhale and lean forward. One hand on each side of the right leg. Look down toward the right knee and hold here. We'll be here for a few breaths. So while we're here, relax your jaw. Check on your facial muscles that they're not grimacing or straining or struggling, that the facial muscles are just neutral. Looking down toward the right knee and holding here. Keep the breath flowing. Big breaths through your nose, complete exhales in between. So stretching the back, the muscles on the back of the right leg. Forward bend is medicine for the lumbar spine, the low back. And then there's a hip opener on the left hip and a stretch on the inside of the left thigh. So this shape has a lot of functionality, it has a lot of benefits to it. And we're going to walk hands to the left and turn your torso towards your left thigh. Hands away, a little bit away from the left knee. Turn your body, look down at the left knee. We're going to hold here. Checking on the right foot that it's flexed. Our breath is smooth and easy. The jaw is loose. And just hold here in this twist. Looking down toward the floor. You may also close your eyes if you're interested in doing that. And then inhale, come up, right hand to left knee. Sit up really straight, twist your torso to the left. The left hand can either be flat on the floor or up on your left hand fingertips. Just hold here. Let's move the head left and right while we're here, or right and left, doesn't matter which way. Right foot stays flexed, the breath is smooth. And then come back to center. Extend the left leg out. Windshield wiper the left, both feet. Shake out your arms and see how things feel. So we're going to move to table pose. I'm going to show you how to pad your mat. If your knees are sensitive, some days mine are. It depends on what mat I'm using, because some of my mats are really firm and some are squishy. The squishy ones feel better, but I have them both. So any blanket or towel, just put it on your mat and bring your entire lower leg onto the blanket or the towel, okay? And we're on the tops of our feet. Okay, so you could do that. And then there's another option if you don't have a blanket or towel handy, which sometimes in some studios I used to be in for class, there were no blankets, so we just would fold our mat in a certain way. So you're folding your mat in thirds, and you put your knees on the fold. So same thing. Okay, so that's how you make adjustments for your mat, blanket or towel, or lack of blanket or towel. Before we start, let's curl the toes under. Actually, I want you to just lean back, butt towards your heels. We're going to do a foot stretch here. Sometimes this does not feel good, but your feet will get a benefit. because we're opening up the joints a bit to allow some additional blood flow in there. You can also do this with the torso upright. So you decide what feels best for your body. Just opens up the bones of the feet in a way that they don't, when we're walking, our feet don't really open up like this. So this is just a little foot therapy. And then come back to table. So table, and you can bring the tops of the feet onto the mat. Hips and knees are vertical. The shoulders, elbows, wrists are in a vertical line as well. Not a sharp crease on the wrist joint. Slide the hands a little bit away from from the knees, just a touch. So the arms are on a slight angle, so you're not on a sharp, putting a lot of pressure on your wrist joints. Drop your belly toward the floor. We're going to do cat-cow. We're going to do some slow ones first. So belly toward the floor. So there's an arch in your back. We're going to lift our head, lift our chest, and lift your head a touch. Chest lifts a lot, chin lifts a little bit. Just hold here. So two things are happening. This is a back bend. You might be able to feel it in your low back. And the front of you, the superficial side of your torso, that's the front side, is also, those muscles are getting a stretch because of the shape we're in right now. So take some breaths here. This is the cow shape of the cat-cow combo. I'm going to reverse that, lift the spine up, exhale, and bring your chin to your chest. We're going to hold in this shape, keep the breath moving, but lifting the spine up toward the ceiling and holding here. So this is a stretch for the back part of you, the back side, the back torso. Breathing here. And then we'll go back into cow. So the spine arches, the chest lifts, lift the chin a touch, hold here, keep breathing. And you can do these in a chair. Seated cat-cow can also be done. I do these at work in my airplane seat. And you can do them like if you work in an office where you're seated most of your day, you can do these in a seated way as well. And then let's reverse back to cat, lift the spine up, push into the floor. So the spine lifts, look down towards your hands, tuck the chin towards your chest, and take some breath. So we're going to go in real time now. We're going to match the movement with a breath, and we'll start with cow. So inhale to cow, and then exhale, chin to chest to cat. Inhale to cow, exhale to cat, inhale to cow, exhale to cat. I'm going to let you go on your own a few rounds since we all have different sized lungs and you might want to go faster than I'm going. So do a few on your own. The cow is the inhale, the cat is the exhale. This is also a good way to fill the body with oxygen. Then we'll come back to table and just do a body scan of how you feel right now. See how your that buzzy feeling I mentioned earlier, and I know that's not a good best word for it, but see if you feel a little more alert or aware from all the oxygen in your brain. We're going to do some hip circles, so it doesn't matter which way. I'm going to show you some variation. So circling the hips. We'll go in either direction. Also, we'll give you some ideas so you can do a freestyle. You can just rock back and forth on your knees, hips out to one side, and then hip out to the other side. So you can try that. You can circle and bend one elbow, drop that shoulder, come around, bend the opposite elbow, drop that shoulder. So you can bring in the arms and see how that feels. So just freestyling and seeing what your body does on its own, let it be organic. You can go from one side to the other, one direction to the other at any time you want. You can also look toward one foot. These are lateral stretches, meaning to the side. And you can look toward the other foot. You can do a few of those, just side to side, your choice. You can come all the way back down toward the heels in your circles. You can also keep the hips more vertical, keep the upper legs straight. If you want, instead of dipping down to the side, you can go straight back, come up to table, straight back, come up to table, try a few of those. And just do whatever your body is desiring and seeing how that feels. Trying the different things. And then come back to center to table pose. We're going to do some shoulder thread the needles or arm thread the needles. So we'll start with the right hand. Inhale, open the right arm, fingers up toward the sky. Exhale, bring the right arm under the left arm and lay the right arm on the floor. Bring the right shoulder down. Turn your head to the left. So your right cheek is on the floor. And we're going to hold here. So this is called thread the needle for the arms. I want to talk about it for a second while you're in the shape. Multi-purpose stretch. Getting a stretch in the right shoulder and shoulder blade. Getting inversion. Your head is lower than your heart, so the blood is easily being pumped. Gravity's not pulling the blood down toward the floor. It's helping to get the blood up toward the brain. So that's an inversion whenever the head is lower than the heart or when the head and the heart are parallel, okay? And then there's a spinal twist happening, which helps us when gravity pulls us down all day long, we shrink a little bit. This helps to re-lengthen our spine, these spinal twists in yoga. So hold here, keep breathing. Then we'll unwind that, left palm on the mat, swing the right arm up, twist, right arm straight up, take a breath in. And then exhale the right arm down. We're going to go straight to the left side. Inhale the left arm up, twist, look up. And then exhale the left arm under the right armpit. Turn the left side of your face, left cheek on the floor, and hold here. And check your breath. So also I didn't mention there's a little stretch happening buttock and the back of your thigh. So that's going on too. A little slight stretch there. We'll take 5 more breaths here. You start to daydream, bring your attention back onto your breath. We'll take, place the right palm on the mat, take a big breath in. We're going to twist the left arm up, look up, and then left hand back down on the floor. Let's do some more hip circles, your choice of which ones you do. See how your shoulder blade area across your back, see how that feels from that thread the needle. It's called thread the needle or eye of the needle for the arms. There's another version of that for the hips as well. And then come back to table, extend the right foot out on the ball of the right foot. I want to pull my mat down a little bit. Let's get a little more length. So I know where to go with the blanket. So we're extending the right foot back on the toes of the right foot. We're going to pulse. So this is the calf muscles are usually tight. I'm not claiming that for you, but just typically they are. So this is a nice stretch. So just pulsing back, you're moving your breath while you do this. And we're gonna hold pressing back. So pushing back through the heel and try to straighten your right leg as much as you can. You might feel a nice stretch in the calf. And looking down toward the floor now. We're pushing back with the hands. We're extending the right heel back. And just hold here. And then release the right knee down to the mat. Extend the left ball of the foot back. We're going to pulse a few times. My right calf is much tighter than my left, so there's a comparison, of paying attention to the different sensations of your body. There's nothing for me to do about that. Maybe a massage, like a calf massage for myself, up to myself, but not a big deal. It's just something I noticed. Pulsing back. The next time you go back, press back, straighten your left leg, and press through the left heel, pushing back with your hands. Breathe through your nose, look down toward the floor. And then release the left knee back down. We're going to move on to our back. So readjust yourself. So we'll do some of the, as I mentioned, the thread the needle for the legs and hips, for the hips. So both feet flat on the floor, knees over ankles. That feels good. Okay, so right ankle to the left knee and open the right knee outward. Exhale and bring both knees, both legs towards your chest. Okay, so you're sort of like in a weird number 4 shape. And then right arm goes between your thighs. And both hands meet on the left shin, interlaced, or the back of the left thigh, interlaced, your choice. So we're pulling the legs, not in a forceful way, but we're just allowing the gravity to bring the legs toward our chest. Okay, and so what's happening here is a right side hip opener and a stretch for the inside of the inside of the right thigh, and a buttock stretch for the, mostly for the left buttocks on this side. We're going to switch sides in a second. And so just rest and settle into this shape. Try to allow your body to really go sink down into the mat or the floor. Welcome. And then extend the left foot up toward the ceiling. Bring the arms out from where they are and reach over the right leg to grab hold of your left leg. Okay, so this definitely looks like a number 4. Just hold here. The left toes are pointing towards your forehead or right above your head. And so this is just a different type of hip opener. I feel a little more intense on the inside of my right thigh. It might not be that for you. Again, I'm not trying to force you to feel anything. I just want you to notice. Sometimes I'm naming target areas just so you know what the stretch is for. And just hold here. And then we're going to lower our left leg, but I want you to keep the legs connected the way they are. And we're going to lower in slow motion. So don't just throw your leg down on the floor. Take your time. Engage the muscles in your abdomen, make them work, and lower the left leg slowly. When you get all the way down to the floor with the left leg, allow the right knee to drop toward the floor. So you're definitely in a number 4 shape right now. The right ankle is touching the left knee. Obviously, the right knee is bent, and the right knee, we're allowing it to drop toward the floor. So this is a stretch for the groin muscles. Those are the muscles between the upper thigh and the pelvic area. There's muscles there, the groins. And so this is a stretch for that. And see what you feel. Just hold the shape. Take some breaths, some smooth breath. Holy cow, it's 3 minutes before the end of class. Okay, let's switch sides. Where did the time go? Right foot on the floor. Left ankle, right knee. Exhale, bring both legs towards your chest. Left arm goes between the thighs. Hands meet at the back of the right thigh or the right shin. And just hold here. And then inhale, we have to shorten the side a little bit. Inhale, lift the right leg straight up. Bring the arms out, hang on to the right leg and hold here. And breathe through your nose. And then I'm gonna have you slowly lower the right leg. Take your time. Get to the floor. Let the left knee drop toward the floor. And then straighten out the left leg, straighten it all the way out. Sorry, the right leg, everyone. Straighten it all the way out. We're gonna move into corpse pose. And just lay on your back in a way that's comfortable. And noticing the floor underneath you. So from your heel to the back of your legs. To your buttocks. To your lower back. To your mid back. Upper back. The backs of your arms, and the back of your head. Inhale, take a big stretch, arms up overhead. Exhale, knees to chest, and turn onto one side, whichever side, and push yourself up to seated. And so I want to thank you all for coming. I'm sorry I lost track of time a little bit, but I'm glad you're here. If you would like to open your mic and say anything or say hello, feel free to do that. June, welcome back.
Hi, DeJur, and everyone. I'm glad to be here. I enjoy this class.
Thank you so much. Terrelyn, thank you for coming. Evelyn and Martha and Shallon, thank you so much. I wanted to just say, may you be happy and may your life have meaning. And may you be an instrument for social change. And thank you so much for your support. Thank you, Terlin. I see your note about your speaker, so thank you. Evelyn, you want to say something?
Oh, thank you. I overslept today.